Why, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of The Gist with Josh. I believe we are on part 8 of The Gist with Josh. If you're listening to this, thank you so much for being with me. And if you've, been watching, thanks for being with us this far. I'm really glad to be on top of this and be talking again. I know a lot's been going on. I know it's been hard out there, and a lot of people feel like giving up. They're clinging to loose strings, and they're not so sure. The straws and fabrics that make up this life almost seem to be coming apart at the seams, and everywhere you look, everything ain't what it seems. And, what's a man to do? What's a woman to do? What's a woman to do? I mean, I'm a man. I know what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to be all right. But some of these ladies out here, I don't know what they're going to do. They're soft and fragile, and I don't think they're going to make it. So if you're a dude and you're listening to this, let it be known. We got to take care of business. We got to take care of the ladies. We got to, as the fabrics, as the connections and structures that exist that are currently in place that uphold the civilization that we currently live in and the system that we currently enjoy, as those foundations begin to wither and crumble, it'll be up to us, the men, the awakened brotherhood of men to step up and take the reins and lead these people, these humbled, huddled masses who will be struggling. They'll be struggling. They're going to be cold. They're going to be hungry. And we're going to have to figure it out because that's what men do. We're going to have to figure it out. And I know this is a bit of a crazy way to start the show. I know I'm coming at you a million miles a second, but I feel like it has to be said. It has to be gotten out of the way. We're going to have to be accountable unlike we've ever been accountable in our lives. And this is probably across the board. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your affiliation. You're probably going to become more accountable. And I think, right now in society, you're seeing all these crazy, trends with Andrew Tate, all these men, all these based in red pills dudes, with the, they're biting their cheeks and making the face and whatnot. And there's this whole based in red pill trend, wave, It's really signifying what is the society needs is strong men. They need bad bitch, get out the way, some ludicrous shit. They need some, we need some of that that's what's being called for, and it's all kind of tying together. Men were weak. We're for the past 10 years we uplifted people like Andrew Garfield, these spindly little men with weird female traits that have taken over everything. Big Bang Theory was like the monolith of that type of culture at the time, and we were all wearing weird comic book shirts and acting all cute and nerdy and funny and gay. And I think now that that's come to an end, we're really what's really slingshotting us back into position. This whole based culture, this whole just based. And what's based mean? Based is being yourself. Not caring what other people, not just not caring what other people think, but, living your fullest self and being yourself and being true to oneself. And when you think about it, like, that's what all the advice comes down to is, be yourself. How many times have you heard that? Be yourself. It's like one of the biggest pieces of advice anyone's got going, be yourself. I'm pretty sure, brands like Nike, their slogan, just do it. It's just an iteration of be yourself. Like, what does that even mean? Like, be yourself. Just do it. Like, how are you supposed to be anything but yourself? How are you supposed to just do anything but it? Like, I mean, this is it. How am I supposed to do anything? How am I supposed to be anything but myself? I mean, if you're in a group of people and you feel like you're not being yourself and you're acting like a little bitch, all right, and you're being a little pussy and you're too afraid to speak, then that's you. That's you being yourself. You are as embodied as anybody. You're fully embodying the character that you are, and that is you are a little bitch. and you should own that. You should play it up. You should turn up the keys. Play that fucking piano. Take that instrument take that bull by the horns. Be good at it. Be a good little bitch. Be submissive. Nod too much. Be weird. Make awkward laughter after you say things. Own it. Be that thing. Be the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, okay? Be weird. Be witty. Be stupid. Be whatever you are. Just do it. It's like, I think in a couple of years, Nike's going to start to catch on, and we're going to start to do, like, accurate advertisements, in the Americas. Just do it. You got that clip of the Uvalde, Texas shooter just walking into the school. Just do it. Hunter Biden, or maybe they could do like an Instagram ad. They could just have like Nike could put up on their Instagram like a picture of Hunter Biden in his pink boa smoking out of his crack pipe, and then they could just have like they could just jump over to like him being arrested a couple of years down the road from here for working with Russia and insider trading and whatnot. Just do it. Be yourself. Be yourself. And that's what it is. We're all trying to fall in the line. We're all trying to fit in and not be ourselves because we're trying to fit in with this weird culture, this bullshit, falling in line, not trying to get in trouble. We're all worried about getting in trouble. No one wants to get in trouble, right? It's so easy to get in trouble nowadays. Fuck, you just say 1/8 of the things I'll say on this show, and you're in deep trouble. You got trouble, friend. You're in trouble. You got trouble right here in River City. And that's not okay. It's not okay to be walking around in eggshells acting like a little bitch. I mean, unless that's you, then it is good. But for people like me and people like my friends, it's not good. It's actually really bad, and I think it hurts our nutsack. Like it's like blue ball. It's like being blue balled. It's like the societal like domination hierarchy, like existing, like winner, like having a life, like hierarchy thing. And it's like blue balling us. They're like blue balling us, the globalists. They don't want us to, they want us to wear the mask. They don't want us to show our perfect pearly whites. They don't want us to show our, good genetics. They don't want us to show off, half our face. They're out for us. They really are out for us. They want all the bug people to fall in line. And that's okay. If you're a bug person, like, own that shit. Be a bug person. All I'm saying is, like, if you're not one of these bug people and you feel like you're getting your style cramped up on, if you're feeling like, just hang in there, all right? You know what? If we got to freaking, you know what I'm saying? If we got to kick the bee's nest, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. But we ain't going to lay down like naked dead bodies. We're not going to. It's not going to be easy, okay? I don't know what that necessarily means, but we're not going to let them take us for granted, okay? And all right, and I think one of the ways that we're going to overcome this in the based brotherhood is, once everything kind of falls apart and we're called upon to enact our ancestral duty and be men. There will be almost like an exodus of feminists, like there was of the Jews, I believe. And there'll be an exodus of feminists, and in this exodus, the feminists will come. They will return. The huddled masses of women, of our planet, of this beautiful earth, will come back to us. They will return, and they'll kind of cut out all the bullshit. I think what it was, it's all this like I said, it's the media. You got the Big Bang Theory teaching guys how to be little faggots, and then shows like the Golden Girls teaching women how to telling girls. You got shows like the Golden Girls telling girls that they're going to be happy single in their 80s. All right, they're going to be 70 years old, divorced, living with all their friends as bachelorettes, and they're going to be happy. That what a psyop that is, huh? They're really like marching like the Jews to the gas chamber with that one, in regards to the feminists and the Golden Girls. They're really marching them to their own demise, because we all know that's not how it works. We all know you're not gonna, divorce your husband at 40, take half his money, with you and all your other girlfriends, and then move into a house on the beach in San Diego. That's not how it goes in real life. In reality, you're probably going to end up Well, alone, widowed, living off fucking nothing. You're probably gonna live in a tiny ass little facility. You're not gonna have anyone. You're not gonna have a house. You're not gonna have any. You're not gonna have any securities. You're not gonna have a family. You're not gonna have like a big like lineage of people to come and celebrate your life around you and celebrate your anniversaries or your marriage. You're not gonna have any of that shit because you would have sacrificed that for this imaginary fucking world. You thought it was gonna be. You thought you were gonna be playing pranks. You thought you were gonna be playing pranks with the Golden Girls. I'm sorry, sister. That's not how it's gonna go. Definitely not how it's gonna go. It's gonna be like New World Order. You're gonna be old, alone, undesirable, and who's gonna take care of all these exotists, all these guys that are halfway through transitioned? Who's gonna deal with those girls? I mean, a lot of people are just gonna fall off the fucking. They're gonna fall off the. They're gonna fall off the thing. They're gonna fall off the paper. We're gonna lose track of them. We're not gonna know what's gonna happen to them, but we're all gonna know what's happened to them. There's just not gonna be. It's just not gonna fit in. It's not gonna fit in with the reality. Golden Girls did this to them. Golden Girls and Sex and the City and all these crazy little TLC shows all made you think as a woman that you were gonna get away with living as, I don't know, an immaterial girl, as Sophie says. You're just gonna float around and exist and be like, I don't know, like a bodacious, like fucking boom body, like woman, and like you're gonna be like what's it called, Bohemian. You're gonna be like this Bohemian woman. You're gonna be like a hippie. You're gonna be like a cool, like uplifted chick, and you're just gonna be all spiritual and good energy. And you're just gonna float around in this world, and having a good little time, and you're not gonna ever get hit with the reality of fucking health, violence, hardship. Like, there's so many different ways this world can break you down if you let it. It's better to not go alone. Take that piece of advice with you at least, because you don't want to be one of these people. It's better just to fall in line. I've been thinking about that myself. It's better just to fall in line in some regard. It's nice to submit. It's nice to get along. It's nice to be friendly with people. You might not always agree. Not everyone's always going to be on the same page. But it's easy enough to come to an agreement and, make concessions. It's easy enough to make concessions and keep the peace. And, if everyone's going to be living on top of each other, stringent for resources, clawing for life itself, maybe we should be nice, because it could be a lot. I mean, if you look at the track record for not having shit, and a lot of people not having shit, like, it never goes good. Like, it's never like an altruistic learning experience. It's never something that you just, it's never like a Sesame Street type of lesson. It's going to be a lot of people that die to learn from that lesson. A lot of people are going to starve. A lot of people are going to be displaced. And you gotta make some concessions. Make some concessions. Think about what you're willing to sacrifice. Think about what you're willing to sacrifice for the greater good. And I'm not talking about your vaccine. I'm not telling you to put on a mask. I mean, what are you willing to sacrifice for the greater good of humanity? What are you willing to put down? What are you willing to invest? What can you contribute? I think that's like the most important question anybody can ask. I think it's one of them. Anyways, quit being a boss bitch. It's not going to get you anywheres. Because ultimately, all these boss bitches, while they're getting punished, it's not even just them. It's everyone else before, everyone else after them that's also getting punished. I mean, a lot of these feminists are mothers. They got children and whatnot, and they're raising them into this hell this hellscape ideology, just ruining their that small time of innocence that we have, that we get to enjoy. And they're kind of just stampeding over that. And I mean, it seems that, it's it's an old saying. It's like an old Bible saying, sons will be punished for the sins of their fathers. Because the mothers are punishing them. For real. Like, no. The reason the sons are being punished for the sins of their fathers is because the mothers are out here punishing them. Has your mom ever given you shit for something that your dad did at one point? Have you ever received any of that energy? Because that's a thing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we just need to play the part a little bit in this life. You don't get we aren't immaterial girls. We're not like Sophie says we are in the song Immaterial Girl. We're not just floating around energy, interfacing. We're sludge. We're like mushrooms. We're like biologically like cow creatures. We fucking just process things and we shit it out. That's the reality of it. We're like refineries. We're like walking organic refineries, or weird things. And we're very material. And there is a lot of shit you got to work out because of that. It's not easy. It's probably it's the root of all evil, the flesh, it ain't always fun. But it ain't always the worst time. You can make the most out of a shitty situation. You're making it work. Takes a little longer. Making it work gets you through. That's how we do. We make it work. Don't not make it work. Don't be one of these people that are making it harder for everyone else that's trying to make it work. Because it's hard to make it work. It's hard. It ain't easy. It ain't easy being cheesy. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it. Everyone would be doing it. We have to take on the burden. We got to take on the burden of our weird feminist mothers. We got to, take, their bullshit, take the punishment, take all the shit for the sins of our fathers. We have to carry that burden. We can't be sore losers about it. A lot of people, they want to kind of just say, myself included, you look at how things are going and you kind of just want to say, why am I even trying? I should just be trying to save my energy for when I really need it. And there's a bit of that going around, but if everybody thought like that, we really would have a fucking societal collapse by tomorrow. There is a vested interest in each and every person going and continuing to perform their duties as a denizen of this hell. Okay, there's a good, it could be worse. It could be worse. You could fall into something even more unsufferable, even more unaffordable, even more. You could have breadlines like the Soviets did. It's not stuck at this. This isn't the limit. There's no floor to how shitty this can be. So if guys want to get all based and red pilled and they want to start doing their job, and if women want to start, they want to chill out, relax, take a deep breath, maybe stay home, look after the kids, not be a cunt. Maybe we can work things out. Maybe this doesn't have to be Sparta, maybe this doesn't have to be barbarian times or the. Please tell me we're still recording. We are still recording. Sorry, the microphone slipped out. I'm going to be getting some better equipment here. I'm going to be upgrading this. This whole operation is going to get a whole lot more high in fidelity and quality. I can't believe that just slipped right out. That is so precarious. What if everything I recorded just stopped recording? That's going to happen at some point before I get a proper fucking setup and learn my lesson. But the gist with Josh must go on. All right? The gist must continue. We must continue, because if not, then who will? Who will be the light in the darkness? Who will put any words to this? Who will try and piece this together if not me? Who's going to do this hard work? They should cancel Christmas. All right, it's something I was considering. If it comes down to it, if it gets bad enough, we could cancel Christmas. Okay, Christmas is depressing to everybody who is alone. Is shit. Okay, which is like 60 to 70% of people nowadays. The only people who are enjoying Christmas are probably these spoiled little brats who are getting probably too much, and maybe we should just cut them off now. Call it quits for Christmas. We'll restart it again once we lay the foundation for the Holy Roman Empire. Maybe we can do a reboot. But for now, I think it's time, we get rid of Christmas. Let's do a replacement. How about we do something better, like drug-fueled sex parties on the eve of the drug and sex orgies? No one would stir, not even a mouse. Or maybe the crackhead. It could be nice. It could be wholesome. It could be holy. It could be beautiful. They say that Christianity started as like a fertility cult. Like everyone would take these Amanita muscaria, these red cap mushrooms, and they would do these fertility rituals. Maybe we just got to bring it back to our roots. Maybe it's about time. We're getting to that part of the cycle again. It's been 100 years. Now we're going back. We're returning. I don't know. I think that might be a move. That might be a decision. Or we could build like a tyrannical dictatorship that just outlaws Christmas, and we could all live under a beautiful system of tyranny, and then we wouldn't have to worry about society collapsing if everyone was just, scared of being shot. No one ever just stepped out of line. That could work. That might work. They might try to do something like that. Maybe if you wouldn't have enough manpower, but if you got drones and you kind of automated it and you got them to go around and make sure everyone's doing their shit, you could probably get away with it. It would probably work out pretty well, actually, if they want to go that route. I don't know how it would be like. What would it be like working in a society like that? Like right now, we all go to work, we all have jobs. It's a capitalist economy, and we get paid. If things got really weird and like totalitarian, would it be like 1984 where we get credits and you go back to your apartment block in your government assigned unit and you're going to have like your credits and your rations and your dingy apartment, and you just go out at the times that you're sanctioned and scheduled to go out to perform your duties, and then you go back to your apartment, and maybe they may have a big telescreen in your apartment that watches you to make sure that you're not up to anything, and maybe you can report to that telescreen every day to make sure you're not showing any symptoms of any infections or any bullshit. Maybe that could be a beautiful little world. But what would it look like to go to work? Like I remember reading the book 1984, and it would describe the main character going to work and the tyrannical, hellscape, and like, everyone had their job, and everyone kind of just like, nobody questioned what they did. They just did it. Like all the jobs were basically like turned into like some form of a conveyor belt, input, do the thing, and then it would be done. That's how it worked in 1984. All the jobs were essentially turned into fake just to kind of keep them working, to keep them busy, it was like. And the main character, Arthur, his job, or sorry, I don't know if it was Arthur. Maybe I'm right. No, I think it was Arthur. His job was to essentially rewrite the news, rewrite literature, rewrite any type of stories or writings of human that may have been, created throughout human history, and he was to re-edit that and go and censor that. He was a censor essentially, and he would work and sit there at a censor, and then his boss would come and make sure that he's working, and then he would constantly be at work. He'd be inside the system looking at other people, wondering, we're all falling in the line, we're all doing the thing, but we're all miserable. Is anyone thinking about breaking out? Is anyone thinking about resisting? Like, is anyone thinking like, fuck, I've had enough of this shit, let's break out? And that's kind of like the story of the book, and he tries to find the resistance, and like, he's talking to his boss or whatever, O'Brien. He ends up, the O'Brien ended up tricking him though. It's the whole thing. Like his boss was tricking him. Like he's subservient to this guy who he thought who was part of like a resistance maybe, and he wanted to break out of the system, but really that was a trap put in place by the system to catch out all the little fucking rebels, you know? Man, imagine being that boss. Imagine that's your job. You're like sitting over there like fucking over your fellow man in like the most hardest course way. Like, oh, they want to escape. They want their freedom. They're willing to make sacrifice. And you're like the fail-safe put in place to deal with that. That's almost what it feels like, you know, dealing with your boss nowadays. That's almost what it feels like when you have a boss. Almost feels like they're there just to kind of like give you the bad news and kind of like lead you to your doom, so that you lead you to your allotment, lead you to your daily 8 hours of toil. And they kind of just, you know, it's not about you. It's not about your development. It's not even about the company. It's not even about the people in that room. It's not even about the people on that floor. It's not about the people in that building. It's not about the people in the company. It has nothing to do with that. What it has to do is whether or not the shareholders are willing to pay for the product or whatever the bullshit is, whatever this generating profit. And it doesn't really matter. There's no like human component. And you know what? To that I say, you know, la struta, like fucking the, you know, red, let the rivers run red, you know, comrade. Let's have a revolution. I don't think yeah, all of a sudden I'm a communist. I don't think that's the solution. I don't think you want to have a socialized labor force. I don't want to work on I don't want to do anything just because someone else said I had to do it. I don't want to do anything. You know, it's hard enough to motivate myself to do the things I enjoy doing. I certainly don't want to do things for other people that I don't want to do, that I don't have a vested interest in doing, that could, you know, like for example, the state farms of Soviet Russia, like they didn't even work out. Nobody was getting fed off those things. They were all dying there, you know, but they all stayed, and then nobody resisted. Nobody fought back. There was no fire. There was no chaotic spirit of hell. There was no fucking. They didn't have the fucking. I don't know, man. Like you look at that one picture of Tiananmen Square where that guy like walks out of the crowd in front of the tank, and he like faces off with the tank, and he's like holding his groceries or some shit. And it's like, holy shit, man. Like that's what we need. That's the energy we need if we're gonna deal with these psychopaths that have absolutely proliferated and multiplied and taken over every facet. You know, good beats evil. Like altruism really is a common thread that unites all, and we can have a unified Holy Spirit that works together and can, you know, quash all fucking realms of this shit, of this brutality, this brutal dictator, nightmare, tyranny. We can beat all that shit with love, 100%. That's what the Bible's all about, you know. That's what life's all about. That's what life's all about, motherfucker. That's what life's about. Winning, you know, being the good guys. And I just don't think, like, my boss, one time my boss asked me if I was a shy peer. He asked me because, you know, he noticed every time I came and talked to him, you know, he would call me over to his office, and I'd be like, yeah, sure. Can I go to the washroom? And I'd ask to go to the washroom before I go to this. And he was like, man, what are you, like a shy peer? Like, you got to go pee every time we're going to have an interview? And, or fuck, no, that's not how that went. Sorry, I'm retarded. No, sorry. No, so we would go, I would go to use the washroom. And then one time he was like, oh man, I got to use, one time, okay, so I had an interview with my boss. I was working at a big Fortune 500 company selling high-end tech equipment, you know, making a lot of money, okay? It was fucking corporate shit, okay? It was in the thick of it, into the thick of it. And I had a meeting with my boss, and I said, you know, I'm going to go use the bathroom right quick. And then he was like, oh, cool. I got to use the bathroom too. I'll come with you. And then I'm like thinking in my head, like, no way I'm about to be like going and peeing with my boss. Like, I'm not going to go and pee with my boss. So then we went into the bathroom. And, you know, lo and behold, we're going in together, and we both pee. No one's doing number two. So we're both at these urinals, standing next to each other. And I'm not peeing, you know. And, you know, he's, like, sitting there grunting like he has an enlarged prostate or something. Like, he's trying to push it through. And, like, me, I'm just not able, you know, I'm not having the same issue, but I can't pee. And this man's peeing before me, and we've been standing there for 30 seconds. And all of a sudden, it's like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I pee? Like, where's all my pee, huh? And then he's finished up, and I still haven't even started. And he's washing his hands, and now he's starting up a conversation with me. He's laughing about something, and I can't even remember what it was because I was so intensely focused on the state of my ability to pee in front of another man. And it had nothing to do with that. It had nothing to fucking do with that. I'm not a shy peer. And then he gets out there and we get into the meeting. He's like, man, what are you, like a shy peer or something? I'm like, bro, that's nothing to fucking do with it. I'm just not trying to have another man, size me up. Size up the size of my penis by the sound of, my pee. That's gay as hell. Stand there peeing, fucking. No, I don't want another man knowing what I'm working with. Listen to my pee sounds. Imagine that. Imagine people could tell how big your dick was based on how long you peed for. I'm pretty sure that's what I thought. And that's what I used to think. I used to think that, like, when I was at urinals, like, if I was peeing and I didn't do a nice long pee, like a nice alpha pee, like, people are going to think I have a tiny dick. It's like a big fear of mine, actually. And it's like a legitimate fear when you consider it, because, what if tiny dicks have tiny pees, and big dicks have big pees? I haven't absolutely disproved that. I really don't know if that might be the case. Might be the case. Yeah, I still can't. I can't. I used to be able to pee with other people around. I used to be able to sit and talk to people while I peed. But ever since that, like, interaction with my totalitarian boss, my tyrannical boss, like, I've never been able to pee freely. And maybe that's kind of like a metaphor for, like, what's going on right now in society. Like, nobody do you feel like you can pee freely? Do you feel like you can be freely? Do you feel like you can see freely? Ain't nothing free about it, brother. That's why we have to unite. We have to rebuild the brotherhood. We have to establish the necessary order, the new system. It's the only way. The only way out is through. This has been very lovely. We're at 32 minutes. Yeah, I got a new job. I got some new equipment that, you can see here, because I'm doing a work-from-home job. We'll see how that goes. I feel pretty blessed. I'm pretty lucky. I've never had a work-from-home job, so we'll see what it's like to work from home. When the government tells us that we're no longer allowed to go outside, I'll still be able to make money for a short amount of time, but I won't be using that as obviously I won't be relying on that. Is my foot dirty? No, it's not, thank God. That would have been so embarrassing. I'm not going to be relying on that. I'm going to be relying on my wits. I've been doing insane amounts of push-ups every time I get down. Every time I get some extra time, I'm doing push-ups. And they're starting to feel, like, orgasmic. I'm being honest with you. Like, once you get to a certain point of, like, lifting weights and working out, like, your muscles, like, the contraction and that pressure feels kind of the same way as, like, your dick feels when you're, like, blowing your load, man. It's, like, the same type of contracture. It's, like, a strong contracture. It's, like, you feel it, like, an itchy feeling. It's, like, you're itching the nerve. It's like you're gonna blow your load doing push-ups, man. I swear to God, like, I'm gonna become so fucking swole, man, because I'm, like, loving my working out, and I'm really thinking about nutrition, and, like, I'm gonna be eating meat and meat only, like, just a bunch of, like, liver, like, a bunch of liver. Obviously, I'm gonna be eating, like, vegetables and shit too. Like, I'm not fully carnivore or whatnot, but I'm gonna be really, really giving myself some insane nutrition because I'm building myself up. I'm getting ready. I'm not gonna I'm not going to go down like a domino when the time comes. No, sir. Nor should you. So, work out. If you're a man, get strong. Fucking, let's all get deezed as fuck. Let's build a unit and go out there. And then when the looting starts happening, we can defend our colony and establish an order. You know what I mean? We can have peace. We can create a new kingdom. We can build from the ashes of the old world. I'm running out of things to say because I could just go on. I could just prattle on about any kind of bullshit, but I write down ideas. I have written material when I do this show. My friend recently asked me how I came up with stuff for the show, and I told him I literally just, if I have a dream, I'll wake up and I'll write it down. And ultimately, I don't know. I've just been like, I've been enjoying the summer and messing around and, taking it back and soaking it in and trying to get that life in, trying to get it all in it while I can, trying to get all that I can get, like everyone else. And yeah, I guess that's why I might have, missed the show past week. I hate doing that. I'm going to stop missing it. I'm going to become, this is going to become more of system, more figured out as we go. Once again, this is an interesting, fuck, I accidentally went off on a non-interesting tangent. But I'm not going to end my show at 30 minutes. Maybe we're only going to have, maybe this show is going to be a 35-minute episode. That doesn't sound too bad. All right. Well, you know what? If you're one of these dudes, all right, and you're out there looking, you got one of those, one of these daddy kinks, or you're one of these girls out here with one of these daddy kinks, and you're out here looking for these dudes. And I saw this Reddit forum, like, where these guys were talking about this, and this kind of goes down to the degradation and depravity, and I don't know, I think it fits into the overall theme of the show, so let's just keep going. And I was listening to this conversation between these two people that had like this kink, and it was like a daddy dom like daughter thing. And it was interesting because it was a mommy daddy thing, except the mommy was like mommy, and like the daddy was just daddy. Like it wasn't like daddy daughter or like mother son like it normally is. Like they were like in order to get it fixed like we would normally have it. These two were just like role playing in a sexual manner as a mother and father, and I was like, well, that's not even. I mean, like that's just a standard marriage. Like, I mean, that's just I'm pretty sure that reminds me of like my childhood. That's normal. What's interesting about that? What's interesting about what the fuck am I even going on about here? I'm fucking too stoned for this shit. What the fuck am I talking about? This sucks. I'm ending it here. Thank you so much if you've listened to it this far. Thank you so much for tuning into this show. Bigger things coming. I'm going to be breaking out the clips. I know I keep saying I'm going to be doing that, but it was fun. I'm glad I could record this, get this out to you. I'm hoping you guys are feeling it. I'm hoping I'm getting the gist to you. I hope you feel like you got all the information you need, and you're good enough to go out into the world stronger and better prepared than you were before. All right, I'm going to go and drink chocolate milk, and think I might drink some chocolate milk and maybe pour some Fruit Loops in there. Do something like that kind of vibe, And yeah, thank you so much for listening. Have a beautiful day. Good luck out there in the free world. Stay free in the free world. Stay rocking in the free world. Whatever the fuck it is. Have a beautiful day. All right. Just with Josh out. Peace.